A very good Thursday morning. A very good Thursday morning. Mama Matata. Happy Thursday. Yeah, early November too. It's a very good morning from Mama Matata, Glasgow, Scotland. And it is, yeah, frosty. So, my baby and I are heading off to school. Morning school drop off on a cold Scottish morning. Today, later on, we'll be sitting down and talking about some important things in life. But fast things fast, baby to school. Mama, see you later. Very good morning. Again, from Glasgow, Scotland. Sun is all out. Sun is all out. And it's frosty. And my baby is finally safe in school. Look at that. Look at the grass. So it's beginning to get frosty. But it is what it is, yeah. Autumn is slowly coming to an end, and it seems like before we know it, it will be winter, checking in slowly. But we're used to it, yeah. After 2 years of this, you finally get used to it. Glasgow, Scotland. A beautiful morning in Glasgow. I was just setting up and I'm gonna be sitting down shortly. This is where I shoot my videos, so I'm gonna be sitting down shortly to talk about jobs in the UK, how to navigate the job industry, etc. A very good Thursday, mid-morning, Mamwatara. I'm back with yet another video, or should I be saying good mid-morning. Mamwatara Talks is here, and this talk comes to you from a place of peace and utmost love. The sun is still shining, yeah. It's getting cold. Today it was actually frosty this morning, so the temperatures are dropping by the day. Mamwatara is here. Last week went through how to get a job in the UK, and that I just touched on bits and pieces of how the job industry works here. My phone doesn't have much charge, but I thought about it and decided that I'll go more in depth in just assuming that probably you're not in the UK, or you're in the UK but you're new to the system. Where do you start? So getting a job in the UK is possible, both for people who are back home in Africa and for people who are already in the UK. So first things first, like I said in the last video, I started working. I came into contact with work when I was about 11 or 10, and my mom ran a business. And I mentioned in that same video that my mom has always had a side business. So fast forward to 18 or 19 years post high school, and my mom had opened up a clinic because she's a nurse. Remember I told you in the last video that my mom is a retired nurse. So at that time, I think it's over 20 years ago, so she opened up a clinic. And yes, so she had one employee in the clinic, but since I'd finished high school, I used to help my mom around in the clinic as an assistant, a nurse assistant. So I'll probably do like jobs that didn't require training, probably like helping her dress up wounds. And I remember one day a young girl actually had a baby on the way, and my mom was stitching her up. I think she had a tear, and I was standing there, you know, helping her, passing her the tools that she needed to complete the job, and I almost passed out. But hey, I always thought I would end up in the medical field, but that didn't happen. So fast forward, we are now in the UK, or you're outside the UK and you're trying to get a job. So what happens is I have been using a website, or they have a Facebook page called Indeed. So Indeed is INDEED. Indeed, that's where I source for most of the jobs that I've been getting. So you are outside Africa, that will work for you. Check out Indeed, and there's some opportunities that will need a visa, and there's some maybe international jobs. You never know. It all depends on your luck. You never know, but keep looking. All hope is not lost. So you're in the UK, single, or with a child. First thing, you're coming to the UK. What month of the year is it? Are you coming in summer? Are you coming in winter, spring? All these things. Because where we come from in Africa, we only pretty much have 1 or 2 seasons. So we wear more or less the same kind of clothing from January to December. So if you're coming during summer, you're set. You don't need to carry too many clothing. Don't overwhelm yourself with suitcases, because clothes are readily available here at a good price. If you have a little bit of money, you should be able to get something that will work for you during summer. And if you're coming during winter, that's something else. Now there, you need to sort yourself out. You probably need a good winter jacket, something like this. And a good one might cost you around £50. That should be able to do the job as you get to adjust. So if you're purchasing it on your own, just keep a little money aside and to get your winter gears together, a good jacket, a hat, and gloves, because you're going to need that to be able to step outside comfortably. Then again, when you come in winter, of course, you're not going to stay indoors. We're not here to be indoors. You want to be up and about. You want to start getting used to this environment. So despite the fact that it's going to be cold, you want to get up and going. So you're here during the winter. You brought in your money. You've gone to probably local Tesco, because these jackets are in the supermarkets as well. You got your good jacket, gloves, and hat, and you're ready for the UK. So there are 2 categories of people. Let's say 1, you're traveling alone. That will be easier. 2, if you have family, like a child, for you to work, you probably need to sort out your children. If they are of school-going age, then you might want to Google here works very well. So Google the schools that are around you, and then probably visit those schools. I don't know how the situation is, but pre-COVID, when I came here in 2019, I was able to visit the schools and then check out. I mean, for me, I am able to tell the feel and the vibe of the school just by visiting and seeing how the children are interacting, or the teachers, or the structure, depending on what calls you to a school. Some of these schools are actually rated, so you'll see they have 4-star, 5-star, and people actually leave comments. So you'll be able to gauge the kind of school that you want your child to go to. Visit the schools, give them a call, book an appointment. If you can visit, go in there with your children or child and decide what you want. You probably sometime people here tend to go to school in what they call their catchment areas. So if you're living, let's say, in Kilimani, your children are going to be going to school in Kilimani. It makes work easier for everybody. So sometimes you might get that they don't have placement, so there's always another school nearby. There's so many schools. Or if they do, they might put you on a waiting list. Even if you have a younger child who's 4, 3, or 2, check with your schools. You might be eligible to some hours of childcare. So you will only know when you got there. If your child can get a few hours of childcare, it will save you some money and give you an opportunity to be able to work. That's that. So another thing you need to know is that for school-going children, school hours are very short, depending on how young they are. It's not like in Africa where you take your child to nursery school and they're going to be there from 8 to maybe 3 or 4. Things are different here. It's only a couple of hours. Then after that, you probably need to find a childminder, childcare, nanny, all those jazz before you start working. Okay, fast forward. Now we're working. We've gone to Indeed. Go to Indeed. Indeed is also on Facebook. Like their page. And then when you get there, fine-tune your search to maybe your geographical area, because you don't want to go too far. That we said that last time. You want to be close to your children's school to avoid wasting a lot of time in between travel. So get a job near your geographical area. In there, you're going to maybe indicate the kind of work that you want to do. Be realistic. I know want to aim high, but since you don't have the skills, you don't have the training from this place, you didn't go to school here, so things might be slightly different. You can always work your way up from down. So, and then start sourcing for the jobs. Another good tip is that be ready for your interviews. When you're called, there's nothing to be scared about. Interviews are not as rigorous here as they are in Africa. But even before that, let's go back. Your CV. So I know that where we come from, we tend to beef up our CVs with too many words. So first things, when you come here, look at your CV, try and streamline it, make it very quick, very easy to read and direct to the point. You don't even need to use those big words to describe yourself. Like thin it out kabisa, make it 1 or 2 pages. And then after that, we're talking about your CV. So once you work on your CV, post it on Indeed and then start looking for your jobs. Yeah, I was on the interview. So when you're called for an interview, be confident, talk to your interviewer, express how you feel. You probably want to write a few questions down so that you can ask. No, feel free to ask whatever it is you want to ask. Don't get yourself confused. At the end of the interview, if they're satisfied with your performance at the interview, you probably be offered some hours. So before you have the interview, some of the interviews, most of them are now on Zoom. Know exactly the number of hours you want to work, or if you want to work, there's maybe the morning shift, back shift, or mid-morning shift, because here most jobs are not 8 to 9, 8 to 5 jobs. So you get to choose the shifts that will work for you. So you need to know before you attend an interview. And anyway, when they post the vacancies, some of these employers will always let you know how much you'll be paid per hour and what shifts you'll be working. So choose whatever works for you, because once you get in there, it might be a bit difficult to change your shifts. So that's Indeed. And then another thing before I forget, transport, navigating the transport system in the UK or anywhere else in Europe. I think it's all the same. You pretty much have all the information on Google. If you want to go somewhere, key in where you want to go, and then Google is going to bring up locations, because depending on who you are with, people are going to work. So people will not always be available to hold your hand and to take you places. And we don't live in the kind of society where, like back in Africa, you can ask someone, could you please direct me to I don't know where. Things are different. So key it in the map. The map is going to give you options, route options, whether you want to take the train, the bus, or whatever, and then prepare before you get to your mode of transport. Research. Do you need to buy a ticket? Do you need change? Because like in the UK, I know we use what they call fast bus, and fast bus does not give back change. So if you give the driver a 20 pounds and they put it in there, that's it, gone. If your transport is like 4 or 5 pounds, they're not going to give you change back. So, and most of the transport network, you can actually download the apps on your phone. You can pay from your bank account. That's another thing. When you get here, synchronize your bank account to your phone. Download the e-wallet. It's very easy. Attach your cards if you have a card, so that you avoid carrying money or wallets or anything that's bulky. So when you get to the bus, you simply tap your phone, because you have the app on your phone and the barcode is there. So it's very easy to avoid issues with the driver, because you're not going to be standing there still asking the driver where they want to go. Some of these drivers can be very rude, and of course when they see somebody who looks different, a foreigner, some of them get irritated. There'll be a queue of people waiting behind you. Maybe the weather is also horrendous, so you want to avoid those kind of situations. So once your child is settled in school, go on Indeed and find out the kind of job that you want. If you score at the interview, well done. It's now time to get to work. Sort out your transport system. Before I forget, find out the easiest routes to use to get to your workplace. So you probably have the options of the train, the subway, or the bus. And it depends. Like the bus could probably be cheaper, but it takes longer routes. So you might need to leave your house earlier. Lateness is not a thing here. You have to get to work on time, and then choose the easiest route. As you go, speak to people. When you get to work, learn to talk to people. Ask people about alternative routes. Any other thing, you'll be surprised at how much information you will get from your colleagues. So keep talking to people. Some things you might not be able to get the first time, but as you settle into work, you'll find easier and cheaper ways and more efficient ways to get to work. It sounds like I've been on a roll. Oh, the sun, so nice. So I think that's about it, about navigating your way with the child, with your children, with the children as well. There's some places, most of these countries in Europe have a page. Maybe like in the UK, let's say on Facebook, we have the Kenyans in the UK page. So go on those pages, like your community page. That will help you know what is happening around you. You can always ask questions if you're not sure. Throw it on Facebook, on your community page, or whatever, your country, and ask people. There might be people who are willing to do babysitting in a pooling. So you all come together and one person can look after a child. I don't know if it's legal, but people know how they go around it. But I think I think what is recognized by the government is that you're supposed to leave your child with somebody who is actually certified to look after your child. You can't just be a babysitter. You have to get a childminder certificate here in the UK. We also have centers, like the after-school centers. So if you're going to be working late and you need a child to be picked from the school and dropped to the center by bus, when they get out of school, most school hours end at 3 o'clock. There's that option, so you need to pay for that. Find one around your area. They're not too expensive. I think they're probably about 12 here in where I live in Scotland. It's about 12 pounds for after school care every day. But you know, it all amounts, it all builds up. So depending on your work hours. And the last but not least, you know, leave some time for yourself. These jobs are very exhausting, so you can start easy, then build up as you go. You'll have an option of probably working maybe 3 days a week or 4 days a week. So don't be greedy. Don't start thinking about the money aspect of it. Then you go full blown for the 5 days and then you get exhausted. You cannot function. You're not able to see your family, and then you get all stressed up and all wrinkly and, you know, tired. So start easy, one day at a time. So other than that, it's been great, Mama Watoro Talks. Until next time, if you have any other topic that you need us to talk about, please put it in the comment section below. And you want to be in the video? My daughter is actually here. You want to tell people about life in the UK? So this is my first daughter, Kayla. She was in school and she just come from school. Kayla, you're showing your thingies. So Kayla has just come from school. So other than that, it's been Mama Watoro Talks, and until next time, bye. Bye. Oriti.